everybody, to the Bo Carver Show. And I am your host, Big Wheels Bo. Thank y'all for joining us this Saturday morning. And every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time right here on 620 a.m. KEXB. And it's Experts in Business. And on our hour, it's Experts in Monkey Business.
Now, you, Bo, most people this morning are actually packing or in their cars getting ready for spring break.
Oh, is that right? That's right.
I'm already on spring break.
I know, Wendy, she's on her way to Tennessee. And after this, I'm on my way to Nacogdoches to see the grandbabies.
My kids and their mother are on the way to Beaumont.
Oh, no. I hope they have their face
That's
masks
my
on.
hometown.
Good luck, have fun.
You knew that, didn't you?
Yeah.
My oldest daughter is born in Beaumont.
I think they'll be turning around real quick and coming back.
No.
They got family down there? Or?
Yeah. Their mom's
still
family.
there?
All
Poor
down
kids.
there. Yeah.
Poor kids.
I know.
That's my hometown.
Hey,
Bless
love
their
it.
hearts.
They don't know any better. They
They don't. They
I
haven't been out
don't
of
want to
it.
ruin it for them. You know?
So
All my Beaumont listeners know I'm usually just kidding around.
There you go.
Of course,
We
I
love
got
you,
my fingers
Beaumont. If
crossed.
Sure you are,
anybody's
Dad.
Well,
listening
I
from
live
Beaumont,
there, so I can say there's nothing to do there.
I graduated from high school there as a
they
Beaumont
have
High
a
Walls
Walmart.
Purple.
And they got a Krispy Kreme.
They had a real
They
nice
got a Papa Do's.
Like I
They got a few
said,
things.
we used to go to Galveston there,
Right.
or Louisiana for our
They
Beaumont.
just got
They had a
electricity
Waffle
about
House.
5 years ago, so it's working out.
It used to
Your
flood
teen
down there.
years.
We'd be driving our car, and all of a sudden, we lived in a hill. We'd go up, and you could hear when someone was home because their muffler would come out of the water. Our streets would flood that bad down there in Beaumont.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, it's down by, it's in southeast Texas, which is really the last big city before you get in Louisiana, which is southwest Louisiana, which is considered swampland.
Plus, you got Port Arthur, too.
And we get the
that's all.
alligators that float over from Louisiana when they flood, so
Hey,
you never know what's in your yard that day.
Beaumont's got gators, trust me.
Wow.
And it's pretty crazy.
So
But it's fun.
we'll bless them. We'll pray for them while they make their trip down to Beaumont. And all the
you.
others out there traveling today.
Are they going to stop and see the big Sam Houston
We'll
statue?
keep. Yeah, we'll keep.
You know, when I used to go with them, we never stopped. We just, there's the big Sam Houston.
Wave.
Every time we go, there's always
Did you happen
traffic.
to notice
so we're
how
stuck.
white he is?
Very. I don't believe.
Is there
he was
any
that
reason for that?
And he's
That's
big.
crazy.
That's one of the biggest statues I've ever
It
seen in my
is.
life.
I used to like going through a town called Cut and Shoot.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Scared
Yeah.
me. But,
Yeah, well, it
You
scared
learn
me
how
too.
Cut and Shoot, population 12, I think
Yeah.
it was.
I kind of heard
back
those
in the
dueling
backwoods
banjos
of
going like
Texas.
on Deliverance.
Yeah, exactly.
That boy's got a pretty mouth on
Funny.
it, doesn't it?
Oh
boy.
Well, thank y'all for
Sling
joining us
blade
this
there.
morning with my co-host Renee Wagner and Barbara Ann and
Morning, good
Graham
morning.
Knoxmere, Bo Carver, and Venus, our producer. Appreciate that. And back to our special guest this morning is Pastor Alan Bias, who is the pastor of the Heritage Community Church in South Lake, Texas, and also just released a book called Walking with God and a World Gone Busy. And
You
we've
bet.
been talking about that. And
And it's just the right size.
Yeah, you believe it or not, there was a lot of talk about the size of this book.
I'm sitting there going, you know what? I'm going to go read that. Real, because you're looking at it's not intimidating.
No, it's quick read, fifth grade reading level.
Oh,
We did that for the
I'm
men.
glad to hear
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
I was really questioning whether I was going to read the book.
Are you
Exactly.
smarter than a
Now
fifth grader?
I am going to
And
read
I'm
it.
like, trying,
Thank you
trying
for
to
that.
push
We
through.
did that for the men out there. I wanted the men
I
to
think
know.
that was probably a word from the Lord for me.
Yes.
There you go.
It's fifth grade
But we
reading.
still-
I'll try
I
to
don't-
push through. I'll try to read this.
Well, everybody does Kindles nowadays.
Do what?
Everybody does
Kindles?
Kindles. They'll read
Kindle.
their books on their iPads.
Sure. And I need to get this into that
Or
format.
audiobook, yeah.
Yeah, I need the audiobook, the Kindle, the whole bit. I mainly just take it around when I speak.
But it's the perfect size, and I really think a lot of people are looking at, hey, I can do this.
Yeah,
Put it on your to-do list.
What was it that they call that? It was the little highlight book thing that when you read.
Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
Put this in Cliff Notes.
There you go. It's the perfect size. It's not intimidating. I think a lot of people look at this, I can do this.
Yes.
Well, it's also
No.
a good-looking study guide.
It is.
Yeah, we have a study guide included in the back of the book. So,
Tell us about that.
well, the first part of the first half of the book is kind of like sitting down and having a glass of lemonade with me in a chat.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
there you
kind
go.
of talking about life a little
Kind
bit.
of like this radio show on the Saturday mornings
Kinda
with
like-
having a cup of coffee
Sure.
around a bunch of friends.
That's exactly right. And then the study guide, which Tom Hall created the study guide for me, it's 5 sessions, and that makes the real biblical argument for what I'm saying. And so that takes you through the scriptures, and you write things down, you go back to the different chapters. So we get you to actually go through the book twice. Once,
Okay.
just sit down and chat. and I just help
Gotcha.
explain to you what's happening and how you're working for yourself and how you're working against yourself. And then the other part is the study guide.
That's fantastic. Now, what, without giving the punchline away,
Oh, I'd love to give the punchline away.
okay,
Part
because
of
you
it,
said
anyway.
there's a lot of meat over here,
There's
and
a
he
lot
looked
of
right
meat
at
in
me
the
when
book.
he said that.
The meat's on
You were
this
holding
side of the table,
I was looking at the book.
So, what is the main goal on this book? I know what you're trying to get people to understand how to walk with God in a busy world, right?
Yes.
That's the main thing. But you show them how to do that in this
I show
book.
them how to do it. So,
Okay.
so this is
That's
this
what
is
I'm getting at.
Yeah, this is the thing. So it was funny you mentioned Amish country before because I grew up in Amish country,
Right.
there in northern Indiana,
Correct.
and so there was a real contrast in how to do life. And so in part of this whole journey of mine, I started asking myself, how did our grandparents and how did our great grandparents, how did they do Christianity different than what we do? And the easiest story is this. So picture a Little House on a Prairie.
Yes.
Charles Ingalls is in there. He's getting his horseshoe, at the blacksmith. He's a Christian too, and he says something to him. And Charles says, "That's exactly what I've been praying about. That's awesome."
Right.
Okay, the next thing Charles has to do is what? A 4-hour buggy ride home.
Right.
By the time he gets home, he's had time to digest, think about, internalize what was discussed. So he's
And
prepared.
have the plan and everything
Oh,
already
he's
out
ready.
there,
He's
right.
coming out. He's ready to be
Right.
leader of his household.
Right.
Laura, come in here. Let me tell you
Right.
something. Okay, in contrast, I had a gentleman hire me to be a consultant. He felt like God called him into public speaking. And so we were actually talking after I listened to him speak several times, and I said, I think the key for you is preparation. I said, Isaac Perlman came to my high school and said something I always remember. He said, amateurs practice until they get it.
Right.
Professionals practice until they can't miss it.
I like
You
that.
practice so much that when everything goes wrong, when you're distracted, if a zebra wearing pink pants walks across the back of the hall,
It don't matter.
it don't matter. You practice till you can't miss it. Now, as I'm telling him this, he's on his phone. Now he's paying me to consult with him. He's on his phone. And while I'm telling him, this is what I really believe God is saying is the difference in your entire ministry preparation. Anyway, he says, "Thanks, man. Good meeting." And then 15 minutes later, he calls me and he's like, I'm in the car with my wife. How'd that quote go again?
Right.
And I said, amateurs practice till they get it. Professionals practice till they can't miss it.
And you had an attitude with it, didn't you?
Because here's
Exactly.
the sad thing. I know he's not going to remember that.
Right.
Because
you knew that when you told him.
I knew
because
when I told him the
right.
first time. I knew he just wasted his money. He just wasted his time. And he has the potential of looking up 5 years from now and saying, God, you called me into this and you haven't supported me. You aren't giving me the answers. This isn't working out. And he'll never remember what he's forgotten.
Well, because he didn't live it.
Or listen.
He didn't get it, so he can't live it. Like you said with the ride home for 4 hours on the buggy, he's already forgotten before he walked out of your door because he never got it in the first place.
Never internalized it. And so the whole point of this book is a study on, so we are in the generation we're in. We live here. So how do you navigate? How do you literally walk with God in a world gone busy so that you're walking God conscious in the midst of your day, throughout your day? Because that's what everything in Christianity is for. Every Bible study, every prayer meeting, everything funnels down to one very simple thing: a more intimate relationship with God, walking with Him throughout the midst of your day, hearing from Him, letting Him show you things, define things for you. And if something can turn that switch off, where you're not walking with God throughout the day, then it doesn't matter. All of that other stuff doesn't matter. The gold seal for Christianity today, sadly, is we wake up in the morning, we pull Jesus out of the prayer closet, and we spend an hour with him. We put him back in the prayer closet, we run off in our day, and then at the end of the day, we pull him back out of the prayer closet, and he goes, I know, buddy, you had a tough day, I know, let's talk about it. And we pray and we talk about it, and then we go to sleep. And it was never meant to be that way.
Well,
See,
one
Bo,
of the
you think
things
I'm
that
talking to myself, and I'm really not. I'm actually
Sure.
talking. No, I'm serious. I'm actually talking to God. He was, are you talking to yourself? Yeah, sure. I actually talk to him throughout
I know,
the day. Like you're
I
talking
know
about.
that the Bible says
That's
pray
your
without
excuse.
ceasing. Well, I took that a little differently, and I put communicate without ceasing, and so it really changed my
1 minute.
direction too about that, because of that kind of philosophy of just getting so. And even now, I can tell you that sometimes I can be working and doing something and kind of get lost in that, like walking 5 miles in the snow to school.
30.
I'm worried about that, but if we can learn to associate with what you're saying, and we're going to come back here in a few minutes. Y'all are listening to the Bo Carver Show with the Wheels of Justice right here on 620 AM KEXB, and don't go away because we got one more segment to go. This place is flying by. We got Jack Babin from New York calling in with the Wheelie Report.